Someone reached out to me about that, and there's more of a mentality type thing, than anything. As long as you get one more than the other team, that's the ultimate goal. But just from a mindset and offensively understanding that is our job and role, that was kind of where that came from.
Will he still be starting on Saturday?
That's the plan.
Break down your quarterbacks. I mean, how good is this room?
I think the exciting thing is they're all continuing to get better. I think Will's done a great job in watching his maturation process the last year, and even everything he went through last year, from preparing, learning from Adrian, competing, being in a backup role, then obviously team calling his number, him being more than ready and going out in the way play the way he did, and then kind of watch that perspective kind of trickle down now, and him being able to be on the other side of that and give back to the younger part of the room has been really fun to see, and how they've all competed, how they've all gotten better, and it starts with him, I guess, is where I was going with that. And I'll tell you what, I've got. It's been a really, really, really good competition for that number 2 spot. And Avery and Jake, both, like I told you guys last time, and I wasn't, it didn't mean anything by any of it other than just both of them have played really well, had good camps. It's at the end of the day, I don't, like I said, naming a set depth chart is not really even how I feel and Coach Klein also feels is the way to do that. And we got to have all 3 of those guys ready to play. We're going to do whatever and ultimately focus on scoring as many points as we can, and obviously doing what's in the best interest of the players, right behind the team on that, and trying to predict too many things. That's a exercise in futility on that end. So I think both those Jake and Avery will both be ready to go. Who goes in the game first? Coach Klein and I will probably talk tomorrow after we finish this week of practice and see where we're at and how we'll manage it. But excited to see all 3 of those guys hopefully see some action.
Wide receiver.
Oh, sorry.
Is the wide receiver game day pool bigger this year?
I think maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. I think they've all been competing very, very well. The way they've helped one another and worked together. And then hopefully last year we were fortunate to stay healthy. And hopefully we're fortunate again this year to do the same thing. So. We'll kind of see how it goes, how it goes past those first 3, 4, 5-ish guys. We'll kind of take it one step at a time and ultimately see how it goes.
What's impressed you most about the offense right now, Collin?
Well, I don't know if there's it's early. It's early for me to maybe have my mind around that completely. I think it's just been with the amount of guys that we do have back, how they've continued to push themselves to learn, grow, and get better, and be able to, build off a lot of the new pillars that we had put in place from last year and be able to kind of detail them out, expand on them, use them in some more ways, and not get stagnant. I think that's probably the biggest thing. All of us, myself included, this is a new team, it's a new year, it's a new offense, even though we have a lot of parts back. Going through this year, just like we did last year, it's going to take some learning for all of us to build what this offense is ultimately going to be. And when you're in camp and spring ball and all that stuff that we've been through, you're putting those pieces together, you're preparing those pieces, but ultimately, it's going to be how you build it from the season with live bullets and seeing what we're made of and what we really can do and what we can't do. So it'll be a growth process from their part and from my part.
A year later, where do you think you're better now as an offensive coordinator than where you might have been last year this time?
You know, I think obviously experience, just like from a player's standpoint. You know, those reps are valuable. The situations, I think, being able to know and understand, have better foresight of where to spend some time and what's important, and then maybe what's not going to be quite as important, even for myself as I prepare. But you know, I feel like I'm learning again this year too, and I think that's a healthy thing as well.
Mentioned this week that he thinks he's a much more versatile back than he was last season. From your perspective, in what ways has he branched out his game?
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, we've always known he's had good ball skills. I think definitely he's improved as a route runner. Obviously, being around a guy like Deuce through the course of a season last year was, I think definitely helped him there. But no, I think his route running ability has improved, and his ability to help us in the pass game.
The presence of Deuce Vaughn, dictated a lot of your play calling, but it also dictated a lot of what the defense, how the defense would react to your formations. Any anxiety of going out there with, I don't want to say crutch, and also you don't know how the defense is going to react to shifts now, the same way maybe they did with Deuce.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And anytime you have a player like that, there's no doubt that it dictates a lot of things, and that helps us make decisions, and it helps things move forward. But again, I think there's a huge opportunity to step up, for a lot of guys. I think what excites me, as well, again, is I've said, I think we had a lot of balanced production last year, even with as dynamic as Deuce was. And so I think there will be, again, an opportunity for a lot of contributors, to help pick up that slack.
With game day almost here and the new clock changes being seen across the country, would you say you're more inclined to go tempo after first downs than you had been previously?
I think it'll be interesting to see, honestly, how much it affects the game and what that looks like, if it is drastic or if it is not much. I mean, I think even, a total of 7-ish plays a game, offense, defense, and special teams, some different projections. So it'll be very interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to run our race. If that's in our best interest, whether it's that week or how we're operating at that time, then absolutely. But if that's not going to help us at that time, then maybe not. It'll be very interesting to see how that plays out.
How impressive is it that Avery has progressed to a point that he can be competing for that number 2 spot after only being here for 6 months?
It's a credit to him. It's an absolute credit to him. I mean, he's worked himself and earned it. He's got an outstanding football IQ and knack for the game, what's going on around him, conceptually what and why you're doing what you're doing at his age is off the chart. And how he's been able to then apply that in a new environment, new system, obviously higher level football than he's played before is pretty special.